Hello everyone, I hope you're having a great day. Today's block is going to be just one that you repeat over and over to build the size of project you want to make. I'm going to be using the smaller size to make a placemat, but I'll also show you a larger format just so you have a reference in case you want to make a larger quilt. So to begin with, we need a 2.5 inch square. I'm using this pattern and then pulling these other colors in to accent it. Then you need two 1.5 inch squares. These could be the same color if you want. I've just chosen two different ones within this background. These are all scraps that I had from my collection. To do the completed placemat that I'm doing, you actually need 46 inches if you were to calculate it out from a jelly roll. So one strip plus a little bit. You also need a 1.5 by 2.5 inch rectangle piece. So to begin with, what you're going to do is you're going to take this square, the larger square, and you're going to draw a line from corner to corner on the back of one of them. And then that you're going to do the stitch and flip. So you place this wrong side down like this. You're going to stitch from corner to corner, and then you'll flip it over and you'll cut out the excess. This should still measure 2.5 inches square. And then you're going to take this 2.5 by 1.5 and you're going to do the same thing. You're going to draw from corner to corner and you're going to stitch here, so this flips over like this, and this is what this one will look like. And then once those are done, you're going to join them together like this. Actually, that is correct. And then from that, we're going to join a bunch of them together to create a pattern. So this is a test block using the larger format. I'll turn it around just to be equal so the format's the same. And this is a 4.5 inch square with a 2.5 inch that was flipped and stitched. Here's what is a standard potato chip, which is 2.5 by 4.5, and again it has a 2.5 inch square that's been stitched and flipped. And then these are joined together with a 1/4 inch seam. To make it easier, I am pressing to the dark side or to the larger square. So this is the block once it's all joined together. And then what I've done is I've now added a second one, and this is what the ultimate block looks like. So you're taking two of the first block and you're joining them together, but you're going to have these smaller potato chips on opposite corners from each other. So it almost creates like a wonky bow tie effect. And then when you join them in strips, this is what they start to look like. So then if you add another and then continue on, so I've got a few more done here, and you just keep adding them like that. So I'm going to make a series of these and then I'll show you what it looks like. And just to show you on the back side, so I am pressing to the larger square, and then I am taking the center seam and pressing it open because it is very bulky. So I now have columns of 3 groups, and each one has 2 blocks wide. You see how it makes this nice cut and diamond design in the center. And then if you add another column and another, so this would measure 12 by 9 if I left it like that. Each unit like this measures 2.5 inches by 3.5 inches unfinished. So 6 across equals 12 inches finished, 3 down is 9 inches. Because I want to make this slightly larger, I thought what I'd do is add some extra borders. So I might do it like that. I've got a chunk of the dark green, so I could add that as a nice border. I also found this that someone gave to me, and I thought this would be a nice way to make it neutral, to kind of tone down some of these bright colors. Whenever you have a color that has a little bit of a yellow base to it, everything seems to pop and yell at you. So it's nice to be able to find something to tone that down a little bit. So I think what I'll do is I'll just add a border like this. I was also thinking of adding a strip in between just to give it another thing to look at. I don't really have enough of the orange reds, and then that starts looking more like Christmas. I want this more to have an autumn feel to it. I've also found this, but again, I think that's too pale. I also found this neat strip or stripes that bring out some of the colors. I might do that, but again, it's too much yellow starting to appear. And then I do have a little bit of this left over, and I could also add that, but again, it would start looking too Christmassy. So I think I'll go with the greens, and I'll finish that up. And I will eventually show you the finished project in one of my slideshows, so keep posted for that. And until next time, sew safely and sew with Debee. Have a great day, and bye for now. So I've gone ahead and I did end up just joining them together in columns, and then I put the darker green as a border. I had just enough fabric for that, and I decided to do just a simple crosshatch in green thread to quilt it. On the back side, someone had given me a duvet cover in cotton, so I decided to use that for the back. And if I have enough on the sides, I will probably try doing the binding where you roll it over and then sew it like that. I think this color works with the color in here, so that might be a good choice. Failing that, I'll have to come up with some other fabric to do a traditional binding. So I hope you like this, and I will eventually have a picture of it all done. I'm going to spend the next few days doing a bunch of quilting work, so I hope to have a video showing some of those final reveals. So again, until next time, sew with Debee, and have a great day. Bye for now.